What's good, y'all? I'm here with another video, and today I'm gonna do a little something different today. And I've been wanting to do this video for a minute, and hopefully y'all like it. Uh, I'm gonna be telling y'all about my top 5 animes that I've watched so far, and I'm talking about all time that I watched. And I'm at a point right now to where I've watched a good amount of anime to have a top 5, a decent top 5, to where it's like I didn't seen every genre, everything. So the first one that I want to recommend y'all is Gintama. Now I know I've said this plenty of times on the channel. Y'all should watch Gintama, all of that. The reason why I like Gintama is because it has a little bit of everything in the show. So you have your comedy, which is what it's known for. You have all the jokes and everything. You have the, people who like romance. You have the little bits of romance, not necessarily like full on, but like it has its hints of it. The fights are good. They're good fights. If you watch Gintoki versus Takasugi, I think that's his name, Shinsuke, watch that fight. The story, especially when you're watching the anime, the story is there. It's just man, that's what I want to get into too. The stories are like they're top tier stories in my opinion, especially when they go into the serious arcs. And then that's another thing too. I love that they blend in comedy, and then they have the serious arcs as well. So it's not just a comedy manga anime. They do a bunch of different things. Some notable serious arcs is I don't know the names of them, but I'll put them on the screen. The arc where Okita, when his sister was sick, during that arc, when the Red Spider arc, I know that one. I'm sure it's called the Red Spider arc with when Gintoki saved the ninja girl. What is her name? I'll put it on the screen because I forgot. But that was a good one. That was a heartfelt moment. The final arc when they had to go against their teacher, and he, like, the whole world had to go against him. Like it's just, man, it's just amazing, man. Like the anime, you have to watch it to understand what I'm saying right now. Like, I know you've probably heard it from other people, but you literally have to see it to believe it, in a sense. Because people just think that Gintama is just straight comedy, and it's really not. It's really just more than that. It's well-developed characters. The main character isn't your average shonen character. He actually is older, and he just, he's just a little different, man. He's just a little different. The vibes are different. The female characters aren't necessarily overly sexualized. They actually are pretty well written, like for at least up to shonen standards. But they're pretty well written. They're pretty strong too. Yeah, man. It's just a good story, man. It's just a good show, man. So I definitely recommend y'all watch that for sure. The next anime that I want to recommend y'all is one that is called Cowboy Bebop. Everybody knows what Cowboy Bebop is. If you're an anime fan, you know what Cowboy Bebop is. And the reason why Cowboy Bebop is in my top 5 is because, mind you, this top 5 isn't in any order. But Gintama is one, though. Gintama is one. But everything else is not necessarily in order. Cowboy Bebop is in my top 5 because it gave me a new perspective on just life in general. Just watching the show itself and just seeing the progression of the show, especially with Spike and everybody else, the growth of the characters and just being able to bond with each other was just, I don't know, it was just a different feeling for me. And then the later episodes with Spike's past, like, coming back to him, and everything is just piling up at once. The crew, they set spoilers, y'all, spoilers. The crew separates. Like, everybody is going their own separate ways. Like, he finds his girlfriend. His girlfriend's back in his life. Then she ends up dying. Like, it really sucks because it's like he couldn't get away from his past, and he's trying to like he tries to move on, but he can't get away from his past. And that's a lot of things. Like humanity in itself has a problem with that too, not being able to dwell, like not being able to like let go of their past. It's a very hard thing to do, especially when memories are a big thing that we have. So it's like all the good memories that you have, you really can't like you really don't. It's not that you can't, but you don't want to move forward from that. So in a sense of like he don't know if like what's reality anymore. Like he's trying to figure out what's actually real in his life, and he's just trying to find his way. And it's like it kind of was hard for him, you know. And even though like something is going good, at the end of the day, there's always something that goes bad, and that's just like life in general. Like you have to take the good with the bad. I don't know, man. It's just I don't know, man. It was the philosophy of that show is just I don't know it I don't know it had me feel away, you know, especially with the episode one kind of foreshadowing what was gonna happen at the end. It yeah, man. Like the characters were good, well written, good OST, good ending. Like man, and Spike is genuinely one of my favorite anime characters of all time. So it's like that's everything in one for real, for real. And it was only 24 episodes. They didn't need any more seasons or over 100 episodes to get their story across. They literally did it in 24 episodes. And that's man, I could if I'd never seen that show, like if I could rewatch it without knowing what was going on, bro. Okay, the next anime that I want to recommend y'all is Hajime no Ippo. It is a boxing anime. You know, I know not everybody likes sports anime, but bro, I'm telling you, if you don't watch any other sports anime, please watch this one. That is Hajime no Ippo is the best sports anime of all time, and I will die on that hill. Yeah, you have your Haikyuus, you have your Kuroko no Basket, Major, you know, you Blue Lock, you have all those. Hajime no Ippo is my favorite because I don't know, man. Just watching Ippo box and just put it all on the line every time. It really just it really gave me an adrenaline boost because this same person who was getting bullied in school because he worked at a fish market. Well, he like he sold like boats or whatever, and helped his mama like with like fishmen, and he used to come to school smelling like that, you know, just getting bullied and stuff. But it's not like that's another thing too. Like just because you're like strong and big does not mean that like your mental is just like, oh, I'm gonna knock everybody out. Not everybody is like that, and that it showed right there. But after, you know, he ran into Takamura and he started taking boxing lessons, he grew. His mindset grew, and he grew as a person over time. And as the better he becomes a boxer, the better his mindset is. And just seeing the progress of him becoming a better boxer and just having that willpower to just lock in on his craft and being around those group of guys and just acting like a family with each other. It just really, you know, it really put a smile on my face because it's like, well, you seen where he came from, you know what I'm saying? And now look at him, you know, even fighting the prodigy. I forgot his name. I think it's Miura, something like that. But he fought the prodigy. He almost knocked him out. He realizes his strengths and weaknesses. He listens to his coach. The coach is really like a father figure to him because I think his pops died already. Like it really is a family. Even the sportsmanships toward other boxers, like they have that competitiveness with each other, but they also have a good amount of respect for each other. Mind you, there are like boxers in the show who are kind of like dickheads, but overall, like after he fights most of his fighters, like they become like cool with each other. They have a lot of respect for each other, and yeah, man, it's just different. Even seeing like Takamura is a dog. Like he knocking everybody out. I think he won by just throwing right jabs. Like he really a monster with it, and he really is the only one that's OP, and everybody else has their own way of winning or doing what they have to do. And I think the main thing that makes me like this show is really just the determination and the motivation that Ipo has for his craft, and just seeing the progress in the gym and him doing it in the ring and getting those hard fought wins and going through adversity. And I know everybody like, that's kind of like the shonen thing, going through adversity, but like he don't have no powers and nothing like that. He's straight boxing, straight hands. He's a normal being. And yeah, man, I love that show, man. If like I probably will go rewatch that like right after this video, no cap. Alright, so I think this is the fourth one. Yeah, the fourth one. The fourth anime that I want to recommend y'all is a anime called Bakuman. It is an anime about two kids in middle school who want to write a manga and be successful to get an anime. And as we see them in middle school, we see the whole progression of them making manga from middle school to adults. And during this time, the MCs, main characters, one of the main characters has a crush on this other girl, and they kind of like each other. And they promised each other, like if they manga goes well, then and she will get an acting career, that she will become the voice actor in the anime or whatever. That part really didn't matter because that's not why I like the show. The romance in there, garbage. But that's not why I like the show. That's not what I came here for. They didn't even see each other though, damn near the whole show. So it was like, whatever, bro. But the thing that caught my eye is literally what I said earlier. We see the progress from them go from middle schoolers to actual adults writing manga. So literally during the whole show, we see them progressively age and get better as writers and artists, because one person writes the story and the other one does the art. So we see them progressively get better doing the art and writing the stories. But even though we're seeing the progression, we see the ups and downs with it as well. So we kind of get in the perspective of what it is to be, like how it is to be a manga writer, for example, or just a writer in general, but definitely writing in Shonen Jump, you know what I mean? And it's kind of a competitive field, but they have respect for each other. So all the manga writers, like there's different manga writers in the show, they all compete against each other, but they all have respect for each other, so they will help each other out if they are in need. And they have the rankings, like after they finish a story and they turn in their transcripts or whatever, they have the rankings for how good that their manga chapter went that week. So we literally see like how everything goes with these with the formations of these like manga for real. And it's a good insight to see, because it's like if your story isn't hitting, they'll drop you real fast, Like if your story keeps going down in the rankings, they will cut you out, bro. And there has been times where people been on the chopping block, Even the main characters, they done had some times where they thought they had the number one writing crazy, and then they didn't, not even close, because there was this dude in the story, I forgot his name. I know I keep forgetting names. I'm sorry. It's a lot of them. But I'm pretty sure he had like I think he had autism or something like that, or that's probably like a speculation or something. But he definitely was like, you know. But he's a hell of a writer, hell of an artist, and that's like he literally does that all day. And he was number one all the time. He was him. Like he would do that all day, like getting number one in the rankings all the time, and they would try to beat him. And it would came to a point where everybody tried to beat him, but he wasn't like the number one dude that would be like a dickhead that would be like, oh, you can't beat me or whatever. He would encourage everybody else to like get on their stuff. Like he sees the potential of the main character, so he would tell them like, yo, like get in your bag. Like I'm really waiting for the next chapter and stuff. Like, and that's what I like, friendly competition, and not just like actual like people just being assholes, bro. It's not necessary. But the main thing that I got from this story is that your goals in life, you're not going to achieve them instantly. It takes time. It takes time for you to reach your goals, and you have to wait, or and like you have to keep grinding and just have patience because it'll be there. It'll be there, man. Like if you keep working, it will be there, man. And I swear, I was thinking that whole time while just watching them progressively like top the charts in their with their manga, and eventually getting the anime adaptation and getting their goals. And it took them years, bro. It took them years. And you know, I have my goals and aspirations just like everybody else, and it just made me realize like, okay, you haven't got there yet, and you got to keep going. Like you have to keep going, because if you don't keep going, the worst thing you gonna think is like, damn, what would have happened if I would have kept doing it? But you stopped doing it because you didn't see the results that you wanted at the time that you wanted. That's not how it works. You just gotta have patience and wait your turn, while also keeping up with the grind and just staying on what you need to do. You know. So that was really inspirational for me. Um, Definitely was in my top 5 for sure. And I just watched that anime. What was that, like last year? I would say like last year, late last year. So like literally after I was done with that, it got into my top 5 just because I had that mindset after that. Cause there's been times where I'm like, man, like this ain't working, bro. What am I gonna do? Like I need to find a way to like get to where I want to be, because this isn't working. Like I need to find something. But I have to come back and I have to realize like, yo, like relax. It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. But yeah. Okay, yeah. So the last anime that I want to talk about is Naruto. I know. Naruto. I'm gonna say all of Naruto. I'm not just gonna count part 1. I'm gonna just say all of it. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Naruto resonated with me. Not only like, I don't know, like when I watched Naruto, man, it was just like I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. Like there was just so many things I liked about the show, especially part 1. Part 2 kind of sold on the characters. Not kind of, but they did. Um, it was just a real cool thing to look at. You know what I mean? Like this was during the time where we were on lockdown. I just got done finishing my first anime, which was which was My Hero, and I was like, all right, everybody liked Naruto, so what's Naruto about? Every time I watched the episode of Naruto, I was entertained, except for like the fillers where they kept repeating the same things. But the mindset of Naruto and just working on the grind, man, working on the grind. People not believing in you. You gotta prove to people that like you gotta prove to people that you're actually a good person, which is kind of fucked up. But yeah, man, just the twists and turns, the characters, the backstories is just like, man, like Kakashi and his father being on the level of the legendary signing, but he got ridiculed because he didn't finish the mission or something like that. Sasuke and his Uchiha backstory, his brother being addicted to him his whole life. Whole time he was just trying to protect him, and he was a good person the whole time. The Uchiha was about to rebel against the whole Konoha. Naruto's parents dying because of the monster that's inside his stomach, and then he become friends with the monster. His pops was cold. His mama had hella chakra. Now he OP. Like Sakura wasn't really. I didn't really like. Nobody really liked Sakura in part 1, but part 2, she kind of stepped it up with her power level and everything. The Akatsuki is clean. Like like my guy clean, Rock Lee. Like those students had potential, mainly in part 1. Like we saw it. Like it was just different, man. Like Sage of Six Paths, Naruto. You know what else? No, even the war. The war was a good idea. Pain versus Naruto, Kisame versus it was just a lot. Even seeing Obito, my favorite character in Naruto. Obito is my favorite character in Naruto, and he literally, like, the backstory with him, Kakashi, and Rin is kind of like Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. You know, he went through a lot. The man almost died, and while it does look like that he controlled the whole world for Rin, it was pretty much bigger than that, but it didn't seem like it because he kept bringing that shit up. But he just wanted a peaceful world, and the twists and turns of everybody controlling everybody, Madara and Hashirama rivalry, Tobirama, one of the cleanest Hokage, my favorite Hokage personally. Like Naruto has his ups and downs, but man, I don't know, man, it really just like, I just love watching it. I didn't necessarily have like a big personal thing, but I just loved watching it. It was just a good story overall. It does have its up and downs. They sold the side characters in Shippuden. Everybody has so much potential. Gaara finally seeing his own blood. Like, that was a crazy scene. Like, niggas was boxing in the forest with the goddamn the sound 4. Niggas was boxing with the sound 4. Kiba actually looked like he was finna be cold. Kiba was one of my favorite Naruto characters in part 1. Like, he was a dog, like, no pun intended. But, like, he was literally one of my favorite characters in part 1 Naruto. And they just sold a lot of... Kishimoto just sold, man. He just made it a Uchiha Fest in Shippuden. And it was all about Naruto and Sasuke, and it didn't need to be. Like, you could have built up your side characters, but it's still a good show nonetheless. But yeah, man, that's the end of the video, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. There are some other animes that I like too, but that's not my top 5. But they're pretty good too. But yeah, man. Hopefully I like it. I'm out.